What's up, guys? This is Hunter, and we are here with another cube draft. This one is the Ravnica Cube Phantom Draft. As far as I know, it's just most of the playable cards from the Ravnica sets. There's been quite a few. In this pack, we have quite a few good ones. We have Hollowed Fountain, Garrison, Blooming Marsh as like really good lands. And we also have a Gruul Spellbreaker, who I think is very good, but committing to black or red-green this early isn't exactly what I want to do. There's also Prime Speaker Zagana, but as how we're limited on time, I do like just taking the Hollowed Fountain, as I think it's the better land in the pack. In our second pack here, so we have Lava Coil, which is good removal. Overgrown Tomb, another good land. There's no fetch lands, as far as I know, in this draft, so these lands are really just lands. They're not, fetch, tutor, and then you have all your colors. They're just, you have to hope to draw them. Selesnya Guildmage is a good card. Lets you create 1/1s for chump blocking and stuff. Bedevil is a good removal spell because it can destroy planeswalkers too. I do like Kaya. I think that she does have a lot of utility in Graveyard Hate and stuff, and Deafening Clarion is also good. I think the main options here that I'm looking at is Selesnya Sanctuary to look into go to green, white, blue, which is one of my favorite color combos, as you have like a lot of value in blink. Or just take the Deafening Clarion or the Lava Coil and try to go into Jeskai. I think I'm going to go for the Deafening Clarion. Alright, so here we can go a little more into red and take the Scab Clan, which is a very, very good card. If you can play it and attack with it, it just starts killing your opponent. Other than that, there's not a lot here. There is a Vivid March, which is like a 5-color land, and Faith's Fetters is also very good if you're playing Control. So the main options I'm looking at are Faith's Fetters and Scab Clan, and I think we're going to want some threats, so I'm going to go with Scab Clan. Here we have Steam Vents, which is kind of what we're looking to go. We also have Sinister Sabotage if we want to play more of the control-y aspect, but I think we're just going to go Steam Vents. So here we have a Mystic Gate, which is really good fixing, because how these only kind of fix for one color. As long as you have others, these ones fix for a lot more. Conqueror's Flail. So Conqueror's Flail actually seems pretty good. Biomass Mutation I'm a fan of in aggro decks, because if you get to the late game and you can make all your 1/1s like 5/5s, it's really good. I'm not super looking to go into black, although Seize the Soul is a very good card to have if you want to. Same with Savage Twister. I think we're just going to take more of the fixing. Fixing is always super important in limited, especially in the early packs, so that you can kind of choose to go into other colors in the late packs. So here we have Aurelia's Fury. That's pretty decent. There's also Figure of Destiny, which is actually really good in a control deck, surprisingly, because you can activate him at instant speed. So you can hold up Counterspell or Kill Spell or whatever, and then just level him up. The main options here that I have are Aurelia's Fury, which is good removal. It's very, very good removal. And Figure of Destiny, which is probably the best end game for our deck. I think I'm just going to go Figure of Destiny. I feel like we can get a lot of other removal, hopefully, knock on wood. Here we do have Consider, just a generally good card to have in your deck. Or we have Cold-Eyed Selkie or Krenko. Cold-Eyed Selkie would be good. We do have a lot of blue fixing so far. Krenko is kind of like a good endgame. you don't really need any other goblins, but as we're kind of in the control aspect, Boros Charm's also really good. I kind of do just like taking Boros Charm. I'm just going to take Boros Charm here. Just a generally solid spell. So this is a pump spell that also doubles as a 3 damage and gain 3. That's actually pretty good. This creates 2/1s with haste, but they get exiled. Doom Traveler is a solid card in a lot of decks, and then there's Disdainful Stroke. The main options I'm seeing here is this and Disdainful Stroke. Those are kind of only red-white right now. I think I'm going to stick to that for a little bit longer, just to see if we want to still transition into blue, which I think there's no reason not to, because of how many... just because of how much fixing we have for it. Here I like taking Fblthp. There's also Curse of Chains, which is a good card, but Fblthp is just, you know, he's card advantage on Fblthp. Don't really want to pass him up, he's cute. So here we could go, like, speculate on going into black, as there's a lot of really, really good black cards here. And try to go 4 colors. Yeah, these are like 3 of the best black cards in my opinion. I think here I am going to take, it's hard, but I'm going to take Kaya. Last Grass might have been the better option. So destroy a non-basic land for 6 mana, or possibly kill a creature. This card actually seems very good, but there's also a Vivid Marsh, which I think I am going to take. This is hard. I'm going to take the land. Alright, so here we have Sig and Sphinx of the Guild Pack. So Sig's actually pretty good. We're going to have quite a couple burn spells, it seems like. This is also another hard one. So there's Engrass Rampage, which would kind of put us into black, or we can take Quench. I'd like to stick on the proactive rather than the reactive for now. Will of Misfortune, I'm very split on, so I'm not going to take it. It's just kind of an interesting card, and where when you play it, it's can be burned, cannot be burned. If your opponent doesn't understand the card, it might not work how you want it to. Alright, so here we have Saproling, which is a cool card. We also have Prison Realm, very good card. Heartfire is a good card, although we're not aggro, so that leans more toward aggro. But I think we're just going to take the best card, which is Dreadbore for us. Just really good removal. Right now we have that, Engrass Rampage, and Deafening Clarion, and this too. So we have quite a bit of removal, although I will say most of it is sorcery speed, sadly. I think actually all of it's sorcery. No, this one's instant. Alright, so this is one of my favorite cards in control matchups, just because you can like steal one of their good creatures or something. Single combat's pretty good. This is an amazing pack because it has Sacred Foundry and Seachrome Coast. And I think I'm going to take just the Sacred Foundry here, because we want more red fixing, as we're mostly red-white. Dreadhorde Butcher's really good. I could also take the Dimir Aqueduct, which is nice. Same with Shimmer and Opt. But he's, you know, an insanely good card. So the same thing as with Figure. Both of them are just kind of, they can win the game on their own. Like, you don't need any other creatures besides these guys to win the game. Scab Clan isn't like that. She's not that good, but she can help in mirror matches. Like, if we're up against control, Scab Clan's going to be insanely good. Like, if our opponent taps out on 2 or 3 or just doesn't have a counterspell or something. So here, Blister Coil Weirds is pretty good, but we're not kind of Stormy, we're just kind of control-y, so he's not as good. but for a 1-drop, he's still pretty good. So when it enters, discard, then draw. But if you played Spectacle, discard your hand, then draw 3. Expansion Explosion's really good. Shock is good, and Deserted Beach is good. We have a lot of fixing. I think we're just gonna take the Shock. It's just a generally good card to have. So here, Is It Charm's good. Has a lot of good modes. We could also take Black Leave to get more black mana, or Haunt of Hightower as one last finisher, and then we could kind of just draft Control, which I do like. It's one of my favorite cards. Used to be my commander for a long time. Ultimate Price is in Ravnica Cube, it's definitely not as good as, you know, every single creature in our deck besides Scab Clan. Although, I mean, I know we don't have a lot of creatures, but most of them are multicolored. Here, yeah, I'm gonna take Is It Charm just because it's instant speed. Aurelia. So it's gonna be a 4/5 trample vigilance. Or we could take Mission Briefing or Keeper of the Accord. So at our opponent's end step, we could get, okay, so that's pretty decent. I think I'm just going to take Aurelia. We're passing up good lands, but I think that's okay. We have quite a few lands. So far I've seen so many lands. Here, I do like taking the Shipwreck Marsh. Hasda Marshal and Fireblade are mostly like, and Light of the Stage are mostly aggro cards. Light of the Stage could be good for us, but not as good as just taking a good land, especially a black one, as a lot of our deck is black right now. Resolve's decent. Ionize is, I think, exactly what we want to be at, though. Yeah, I think we're gonna take Ionize. Essence Capture is also good, but Ionize is a bit better, I think, just because it doesn't have double blue. In this pack, so Goblin Cratermaker is pretty good. I haven't seen her before. She seems okay. And this, Destroy All Auras and Equipment. I think we're just going to take the Cratermaker here. It seems like a fairly decent card because it can destroy any artifacts our opponent has. In this pack, we have Connive, which we're just going to take. It's a very good card, just letting you steal like an opponent's value creature is very good. So here, that's an interesting card. But so there's Dead Weight, Opt, or Shimmer. I think we're just going to take Opt just because it's an instant. Here, yeah, we're going to take Expansion Explosion. We have a lot of dual-faced cards. Most of them are very good. If you control no tapped lands, put 2 1/1 counters on it. Interesting. Can attack as though it didn't have Defender. We're just going to take the Piston Fist. And actually, Davriel seems decent in our deck. We're probably not going to be playing the Piston Fist. We'll take the Hasda. Our deck looks very good right now, actually. Insanely good. Surprisingly. We have a lot of fixing, and we're about to get some more. There's not a lot great in this pack besides the lands. Rurik Thar, who's green though, we probably don't want to go into 5 color. I think the main question is whether we take the Vivid Creek to try to get a 5 color land that's slow, or take the Cascade Bluffs for a lot of red, blue and red. Let's sort it by color. So we're mostly red. So I do like taking the Cascade Bluffs. So now we'll sort it by CMC again. Here, Demon Fire is a good card. That's more fixing. Raktor's Cranarium is also more very good fixing. We could take Niv Mizzet, but I don't think we have enough fixing for that. And Kesmine is very good. But Deputy Detention is definitely the best card there. Just exiling cards is very good. Here we have another pack of very good cards. I think this draft is honestly kind of stacked. It's very good. It's not doing like as many unfair things as like Legacy Cube, but the cards in it are very good. So Dream Eater is very good. We could take it and like replace Krenko out of the deck. We could take another land. Prevent all non-combat damage that would be dealt to other creatures you control. And he has Mentor. And then there's also Unbreakable Formation, which is very good. We don't have a lot of creatures though, so I think we're just going to take Dream Eater and pull out Krenko. Now we're looking for more lands and good spells. So here we have a lot of green lands, sadly. Dimir Keyrune. Dovin's Veto is good. So here it's mostly between Dovin's Veto, but Fire and Ice I think is better. You can just tap something or kill a dork. It's a 2-drop though. These ones are kind of iffy because a lot of the times you're going to cast the more expensive one. Hopefully you get to that point. So here, Martial Law is actually a really good enchantment. Just every turn you get to take out one of them. Rise of the Hobgoblins isn't bad. That's actually a very cool, interesting card. But I think we're just going to take Martial Law. It's a very good lockdown enchantment. Here we have Tyrant Storm, Nightveil Spectre. Nightveil Spectre is very, very, very good. Like extremely good if you can get it down. Revenge is the better half. Revival Revenge, it's better in like if you're playing super control-y, which we are actually very, very control-y. Terror, destroy a non-artifact and non-black creature. This destroys a creature with mana value 3 or less or bounces a creature to its owner's hand. So let's sort by name, color, mana value, rarity. Okay, so we have 1, 2, we'll just take Nightveil. Not enough time to really look. Here, when it deals combat damage, so it's when it deals combat damage, draw a card and gain life. It's actually really good, but I don't think that's what we're going to be looking at. We have a lot of really good creatures for a control deck. So I think we would rather take the Drowned Catacomb or the Clifftop Retreat. The better of the two for us being most likely the Drowned Catacomb at this point. Here, what is this? Create a 5/5 black-red. They sack creatures and sack lands. Seems like an awesome card, but I don't think it's where we're going to go. You can't choose an untapped permanent. That sucks. Well, it's not a bad card, it just sucks that you can't choose an untapped permanent. So I think here we're just going to take more lands, although Lightning Helix is a very good card. Here we're just going to once again take more lands. This is red and white, so we're going to take more lands. So here we're going to take more lands. I think we want more red than blue. We have a lot of red cards. Here we're going to take Dovin's Veto. It's very good against control. So we're going to once again sort by mana value. We have 12 lands. So as long as Blood Moon isn't in this thing and our opponents don't get Blood Moon, we're going to hopefully have all the mana and colors we need for this 4-color craziness. Here, I mean, we can take Rise of the Hobgoblins. It'll probably be sideboard, but we can play it. We'll take the Guild Mage and sideboard it. Our deck looks extremely good as long as we get our colors, which is why I took so many lands. We have so many lands. What does this do? Nope. Alrighty. So what I'm looking at cutting is these three. Jace's Archivist. I don't think we're going to need it because we have a lot of card advantage, like a lot of cards that draw cards or at least selection. Dovin's Veto, we have a lot of 2-drops that just kill stuff. So I think it'd be better to sideboard it out against certain decks, or sideboard it in, than have it in the main board, especially because it's kind of a dead spell against like aggro, which is probably going to be our hardest matchup. And Sig, I don't think we have enough ways to reliably deal 3 damage to draw those cards. We kind of just have like Burrow's Charm and some hopeful, like maybe we can attack stuff. And then at that point we have our lands. And our deck's looking good. We'll probably just stick with 16 since we have enough selection and stuff. And that's going to be our deck. I'll see you guys in the first round. Alrighty, so we're here in the first round. This hand is interesting because no matter how, unless we draw a land, we're not going to be able to cast like anything but Fblthp. But I think we are going to keep it. We're going to lead on Cascade Bluffs unless we draw another land. And then next turn we have to play this on the red side so that we're able to tap this for red-blue to play Fblthp. So he's not sure what he's doing. Some blue-black, most likely control. If we can get Scab down and he for some reason attacks with Lazov, then it's good. So he's going to leave it on top. And it's going to be our turn. Alright, so we draw Battlefield Forge. That's really good. We're going to play that. Tap it for red and filter it into blue so that we can play Fblthp and draw ourselves a card. So next turn we can, depending on if he attacks or not, if he attacks and has no blockers, we're just going to play Scab Clan, get the Renown online, especially because it looks like he's control. If he doesn't attack, we can't attack into it with Scab Clan very well because that's a 1/3 against a 2/2, so we can just block and we won't get Renown, so then it just kind of does nothing. So if he doesn't attack and leaves up blockers, we'll probably just play Davriel and start eating away at his hand. Alright, so he is going to attack, which is quite good for us. He has 2... Alright, so we're going to play this... Blight Step. So we want to play it on the black side. We want to filter a red for double red. And then we can play Scab Clan. And we're just going to attack with all. He could have like instant speed kill, but that's something that's going to happen anyways. Yeah. Alright, so he's gonna get that, which is okay. We have Night Veil Spectre, which is a card we would much rather have down than Scab Clan. That's a interesting play, because we're gonna sacrifice Fblthp and he's gonna have to get rid of something better than Fblthp at this point. Yeah, so he sacrificed Lazov. Not sure why he did that. Kaya, I would rather play once we have something that can deal with this. So we can do Dread Horde, or we can do Night Veil. So I'm gonna play this on the... So if we play it on white, we can have more white mana. But if we play it on red, we can kind of stop paying life. So we'll just play it on red. And then leave up Boros Charm, I guess. So black red, Dread Horde Butcher. No, we didn't even leave Boros Charm up. That sucks. I tapped wrong, I think. Alright, and now we'll pass. If he attacks, we'll take it. And we'll get to play Kaya. Dreadhorde does block and kill Slum Reaper because it'll deal 1 and then it'll die and it'll deal its power to Slum Reaper, which is 2. Opponents, ooh, what are they playing? Okay, that sucks. He's gonna get our Dreadhorde. Ooh, not good. Alright, so we draw a land. We're gonna play the land and play Kaya. And leave up red. We're gonna play Kaya. She's gonna exile some cards from their graveyard and gain us life. So just one has to be a creature, so we're gonna do that in Lazav. Gain 2 and pass. Hopefully next turn we can draw a land. The question here is whether they throw Slum at Kaya or not. We can Dream Eater, flash in, block, and bounce Dreadhorde back to our hand if we draw a land, which is quite a good play. We have mostly untapped lands, so shoot. Alright, so here oh, that's not good. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we'd go to 2 if we take it. Then he gets to draw a card. Or we can play Night Veil and then Boros Charm it to double strike that. That seems okay. We just have to tap correctly. So we need to go red. Tap here for double blue and a black. And then we can, yeah, because that's a 5-color land. So Night Veil, leave up Boros Charm. Hopefully next turn we can draw a land. Okay. We're still actually in a decent place just because they have 1 card in hand. And the fact that if we draw a land, we're doing extremely well. Uh-oh. So we are going to kind of have to give it indestructible. And now we can still kill the Slum Reaper or chump. So basically he has no attacks unless he wants something to die. But our guy's going to get indestructible. Unless he has some kind of bounce spell, then we're definitely dead. He has... What's he doing? I do not know. Yeah, so he has a tap. It doesn't actually put us dead as long as we still draw a land. Right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we go to 1. Next turn we can bounce, block, block. As long as we draw a land. Alright, so he got a land, so that's good. And it's our turn. Not a land. Does this win it for us? Okay. So we can go Davriel. Is it Charm? We can, is it Charm, kill, block? No, I think what we have to... No, we're dead, right? Well, we're not exactly dead. So what we can do... Or we can be super greedy. No, we can't attack. Alright, so what we can do is filter for blue, colorless, and we want to leave up red. And we can cast Connive, right? Yes, we can cast Connive and steal. Oh no, it's still going to be tapped. Then I'd rather not show him where we have it. So we'll move on to sideboarding. He's playing control. We want Dovin's Veto in. Boros Charm's going to stay in actually. And we want to take out... So knowing he has that, Dreadhorde Butcher is... Or knowing he has Connive, Dreadhorde Butcher is a little worse. And possibly even Goblin Crater Maker. Even Nightveil Spectre. Just because they're so good against us. I think we're going to take out Goblin Crater Maker. No, we'll leave him in. We will take out... We'll take out... We'll take out Goblin Crater Maker and call it today. Alrighty, round 2. Let's see. We will go first and have no lands and mulligan. And have no lands again and have to mulligan again. Alright, we'll keep this. So we're probably going to put... So we have one white source right now. So we're probably going to bottom that and the swamp and hope that we can draw a land. We're going to start out with Shipwreck Marsh and pass. So what we're hoping for is that we're just able to draw a land, put this on 4, and we can kind of just counteract any like one creature they have for the rest of the game. And the nice thing about martial law is we get to re-choose it every single turn, which makes it a lot better. So he's gonna put Debtor's Knell into the graveyard. Alright, Eternal Taskmaster. So we're going to play this on Pilferage Pathway. We could play Deputy of Detention, but I think we're just going to wait and possibly Deafening Clarion on them after Martial Law to try to get him to run out more creatures. Or... we're actually just going to Deafening Clarion right now to take out both of his creatures. Just because this one draws him a card. Alright, so land. We're going to deal 3 damage to each creature. And now we get to opt on their turn and play Martial Law next turn, hopefully. So now we're actually, even though we mulliganed twice, we're in a decent position. Shadow Mage Infiltrator is a very good card. So that's also a very good card that we are going to have to Deputy of Detention. Alright, so we get to opt. Hopefully find a kill spell or something for the Guild Mage, because Deputy is... we're going to bottom that. Dream Eater. Okay. Alright, we can Dreadbore. Oh, wait. Tapped wrong. Black. So we can Dreadbore and hope they don't have the counterspell with this double blue. Guildmage is just an amazing card in the mirror match, just because I have no pressure right now. I have no creatures down or anything, so having that creature is just very good against us, because you can just draw cards and make a discard every turn, especially since in these matches you end up getting a lot of mana. So we could slam Martial Law, but I want to try to hit our land drop to try to play the Dream Eater. We're going to tap this and play Fblthp. Just a 2 mana, get a 1/1, draw a card. Play Battlefield Forge and pass. Now if we draw a land, we can Dream Eater them. It'd be better if they played something that we got to Dream Eater first, but that's a beautiful draw. So we can Figure of Destiny. We can he's gonna counter that? Yep. Figure of Destiny is a good card. So now we're just gonna slam Martial Law. Opponent's probably reading it, trying to find out what Detain does. Basically, it pacifisms, and they can't activate abilities. And every turn I get to re-choose one creature that it does it to, so my next turn. Its downside is that activated abilities, if they're instant speed, they can activate them on my turn. But besides that one downside, it's still a very good card. So here we get Fire and Ice. We're just gonna attack with Fblthp and possibly cycle the Fire and Ice on their turn. Hitting a land drop here doesn't really matter. Not enough to use this, because we would have already had to pay 2, so we wouldn't be able to play Dream Eater. And that's something we would love to kill. Spark Double, so we're just gonna kill that on the stack. And now every turn we just get to detain the Spark Double. And it has no target, so that was a 2-for-1. That was amazing for us. Oof, okay. So we could draw 1 and deal 1 damage to them, or we can just keep holding out and attack. And if he plays like a very good card, we can copy his spell. It's also instant speed, so we can do it on his turn. If he plays an X1, it's probably worth it. Okay. So is he gonna put it into his graveyard? He did not put it into his graveyard. I'm not sure what our opponent's doing right now. Alright, opponent looks like he's going to pass. On our upkeep, we'll get to detain his creature. As I was looking, we also don't have enough red and blue to be able to cast expansion until exactly this second, which also gives us enough for Dream Eater. So we're just going to attack with Fblthp here. And we get to hold up both of these, this one being a deal 2, draw 2, so we can kill the agent and draw 2. And this one just being a very, very good beater. Puts a huge clock on him. And they're both instant speed because the Dream Eater has flash. So yeah, this can't attack or block, and its activated abilities cannot be activated. So this is real good for us. So we're going to let it resolve with this trigger on the stack. We're gonna let it go through and sacrifice our Fblthp. And then now we're just gonna expansion this. No, I tapped wrong. I have to pay for life for red with the battlefield, and then get double blue. And then I draw cards and pay. Bam. Awesome. So, oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. All right. So here we're gonna play this on red or black. We have 3 red source, so we're gonna play this on black. Black, white, red. We're gonna play Kaya. We have enough for blue, red, and 1. Probably could have tapped differently to pay 1 less life, but that's okay. I'm not really used to playing with damage lands, but we do get to. So we're probably gonna exile the Guild Mage because that would be very good right now, and the Debtor's Knell. And she ultimates on 5 and will deal however much they have in exile straight to their face, which is a decent thing that we can do in like 2 or 3 turns. We could just exile their whole graveyard and smack them real hard. So now we just get to hold up the Ionize, and if he plays any creatures, we have Martial Law to take care of them. And we have Dream Eater that can end up putting. So we are going to counter this. So red, blue, white. Ionize. The reason we're countering this is just because it can become literally anything in his graveyard, and while we can do that, he can become like Shadow Mage, and he can become Augury and like gain life and draw cards. But that's a win. So I'm thinking, in our last game I was thinking we might actually want to add 1 more land. Most of our cards I think are pretty good, except I was thinking I want to cut Aurelia, because our opponent can actually steal Aurelia with Connive, which would be like devastating. And we're gonna want to add 1 more land, and I want it to be a blue, just because we have like a lot of blue. Alright, so opponent's probably gonna go first. Yes, he's gonna go first, and here, oh, we keep getting like really weird mana hands, even though we have 12 like actual lands in our deck. So we can't even go Dread Horde turn 2 or Dread Boar, so we're just gonna mulligan. Alright, so this we're gonna keep and put Boros Charmed at the bottom. We just have a bunch of removal and stuff. We literally have just 2 removal spells and a counter spell. And we have pretty much perfect mana. So we get to go Vivid Creek, pass. Just starting on this because it's our only like super tap land where it can only enter untapped, or only enter tapped. Even though leading on Swamp or Sacred Foundry would let us cast Angraths without removing a counter. We're not planning on removing a bunch of counters from it, hopefully, as long as I don't tap too wrong. Opponent's going to pass. We get a Deputy of Detention. I'm going to cast Sacred Foundry tapped. Or we'll play Sacred Foundry tapped. Next turn we're going to go Swamp. If they play a good creature, we'll Angrath's Rampage it. If they don't, we'll hold up Ionize. Tap land, nice. The control battle is so exhilarating, it's crazy. Alright, we're going to pass. And now we get to hold up Ionize. And we have quite a few lands. Next turn we get to start holding up Ionize and Intervention, as long as he doesn't play anything we want to counter here, which he doesn't. We're just going to play the... Ooh, that makes it interesting. I'm going to play this because I think he'll counterspell it. And holding up counterspell's lame. And if he doesn't counterspell it, then it's quite a good way to do stuff. What counter? Alright, so Quench out of his hand. We're not going to pay 2, and we'll pass. Hopefully that will get him to do something that we can just kill with Angraths, because we can kill with Angraths and still leave up Ionize. Perfect. So we'll kill that with Angrath's Rampage. We control swamps. This enters untapped. So we want to go red here, black here. Angrath's Rampage, they sacrifice a creature. Kill the Augury Adept, and now we get to hold up Ionize once again. Next turn we'll get to hold up the Intervention. He has 5 cards in hand now, which is somewhat concerning, since we did have to take a mulligan. I am going to counter this. Reason I'm going to counter it is because a 3/2 is actually a somewhat decent threat, and we still have 2 spells, and that is perfect. So I'm going to play this on red. No, I'm going to play it on red and pass. And now if he plays an X2, we get to do fun things. We can also go double intervention if need be, if he plays like an X6 somehow. That's concerning. So if he's just passing, we're gonna intervention this. Awesome. So that went through. And now we have this for 3. Our opponent doesn't have a counterspell, so I kind of just want to do this here to his face. But we could also get like a 2-for-1 if he plays a creature, but if he draws a counterspell, then that's bad. Rough place to be. I think we're just going to pass and leave it on his turn. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he would have countered intervention on Shadow Mage, because Shadow Mage would probably just let him surveil 3, then return a creature card. This is so far perfect, as long as he doesn't have anything crazy to get back, because now we can just kill whatever he gets back from anything in his graveyard. Probably going to be Augury Adept, I would think, but maybe Shadow Mage, if he's scared about us getting a blocker. Either way, we get to kill it, as long as he doesn't return something we haven't seen yet. Yeah, Expansion Explosion, very, very, very good card in control. And at that point, we'll have Deputy and 3 other cards, and then we'll draw a 4th one. And that's a lot of cards in hand. So our opponent, he mills a Slum Reaper, and then gets an Augury Adept. We're going to move to his end step. Blue, red, blue, colorless, red, blue, black. So that, us, and a lot of mana equals us getting way far ahead. We could have done 1 to their face. Not gonna lie, I totally forgot. That's a very good card. If we had known about it, we would have just let them have their creature, but we didn't. Alright, so blue, black, and I'm just gonna play a basic island for a turn and use that. We're just gonna play Night Veil. And we're gonna leave this up in case he can steal our guy. It's sorcery speed, but we can like steal it back. And if he kills it, we can also return it and get value with the Surveil 3 along the way. Let's see. Something big. Spark Double. That only does your stuff, my guy. You did that last game too. Alright, so beginning of each upkeep, tap it. We probably might just actually Deputy of Detention that, because I think having Night Veil will just let us win the game. start off with Fblthp. Draw Cascade Bluffs, which we... So if we do 1, 2, 3, we'll play that tapped. That makes sense. So colorless, that in blue. We'll play Deputy of Detention. Yep, exiling that. We're going to play Hollowed Fountain, tapped, and pass. Now we have 4 damage a turn, and we can steal whatever they play if they play, because usually these decks just have smaller threats. I don't think we've seen any big threats, except for the Slime Reaper was the biggest thing we've seen. Looks like our opponent might have something. That's not good. 7 mana. Oh. Beginning of your upkeep, put a creature from his yard onto the battlefield under his control. Spark double, only creatures and planeswalkers. Okay. So here, actually that's pretty good. So we're going to use a blue to make double red. And then the fireplace to cast a Scab Clan. And just swing out at him. So now, anytime he casts a non-creature, and we get a Lazav, which I will cast. Surveil 1. Click the card to put it into your graveyard or back on top. So we're just going to put this on top, just because it'll give us a little bit more selection. And Lazav can't become anything right now, but I think that's still okay. So he's going to get a Slime Reaper. That's totally fine. We're just going to sacrifice Fblthp. Makes sense. Now Lazav can become Fblthp for some weird reason if we need it to. Don't know why we would, but... Alright, so here we get to opt. That's good. So maybe I should have bottomed that, but I think it'll be okay. Does he have what's he gonna do? Alright, so Creeping Tar Pit's now a creature. And is he gonna choose to kill the Deputy, I'm guessing? Because it has Death Touch, I believe. Yeah. A 3/2. Oh, can't be blocked, but he can block that. Nothing we can really do there, but we can actually steal his Creeping Tar Pit. I think that works. I'm not 100% sure. Alright, so Chains goes back onto him. We get a land. Alright, so we're going to play their land. We're going to... Oh, this is good. Alright, so I think this is game. So we get to concoct and then return the Deputy to steal the Debtor's Knell. And that's game. Awesome. So GG's, and I'll see you guys in the second match. Just one thing here. I am going to switch up the main deck. From what I saw, how our deck ran, we do want more lands. I don't think we need that many creatures, so I am just going to take out Creator Maker. He's a good sideboard, and I'm going to just add an island, just because for our early play... Yeah, for our early plays, it can get opt Fblthp, and we have, as far as I can tell, most of... No, that's not smart. Don't mind me. I'm just going to add a mountain, because it gets all of our early game plays, mostly. And that'll be our new deck. Alrighty, boys, we are here in... And ladies, maybe. We are here in match 2. Our opponent gets to choose whether to go first or not. Alright, so our opponent chose to go first. This hand's interesting because we can actually keep it because we have Fblthp, but we're not gonna. This is a good hand. We are just gonna put the... So we actually need the island to cast the Night Veil. So we're just gonna put the Needle Verge pathway on the bottom of the deck. Alright, looks like we're playing against green. We're going to play Sacred Foundry untapped. I totally lied. We don't need the island to cast this because we can... No, yeah we do. No, we can filter white into the Mystic Gate, but that's okay. Alright, so now, as long as he doesn't kill it, we can leave up Izzet Charm. Or we can level up Figure. We're just going to play an island here. So this becomes a 2/2. I think it's more important than the Paradise to where I'm not going to attack. And next turn we can actually just run out a Night Veil Spectre. That's actually pretty neat. Is he going to attack? If he attacks, we'll just kill it. Alright, so here, yeah, we're just going to level up our Figure of Destiny. So it's the beginning of his upkeep. Okay. So we're going to play the Mystic Gate and run out the Night Veil Spectre. So we filter white into here for double blue. Oh, wait, no, that was wrong. For double blue, playing with this, that, Night Veil for 3, and then we'll pass the turn. So yeah, he gets to put counters on his own creatures, which is the reason why that's such a good card. And if we do it, then we can't attack him. So it's a real hard choice. I think we're just gonna put him on our flyer and not attack him next turn. Alright, so he gets Evolution Sage. His deck seems real cool, I'm not gonna lie. With a bounce land, that makes it rough. Because he can do that again next turn then. So yeah, I think we actually need to kill the Evolution Sage. I would much rather kill the Orzhov Advocist, but I don't think we're going to be able to because we don't have a kill spell so far. Yeah. Alright, so here we're going to Izzet Charm, run out the Dread Horde. Yes, so we need black, red. So we need... Actually, we can only do one. Right? So we can't attack him, but we can do black, red. I think we need to kill it this turn. With the Izzet Charm. Deal 2 damage to that. And then we'll just play the Shipwreck and pass. And then we're just gonna do it again on the Night Veil. Because our guy has flying, we can probably chump the Advocist for a while. Trostani. This guy's deck seems crazy good, not gonna lie. We're just gonna take that. Take this good old 7. Shock. It's not a horrible draw. Can't attack. So we're gonna play Dread Horde and leave up Ionize / Shock / Kithkin, make it a 4/4. We're just gonna put counters on Dread Horde now. So now our Dread Horde's a 3/3 that when it dies will deal 3. We can actually kill that, surprisingly enough, and trade only one of these, which will probably be our Night Veil. And I think that's worth it. No, we can't kill that. Can we? Reset blockers. Okay, so if we double block, he chooses to kill this and then doesn't kill the Dread Horde. So we'd have to block with all and then shock it, right? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, so we have to block with all, and if he kills Dread Horde that, then we don't have to shock it. Okay, so we're just going to block with all, see how he chooses. Okay, what's he going to do? Target, put a 1/1 counter and it gains indestructible. Shoot. So if we counter this 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, doesn't matter. Oh, this is rough. I think that's just game. Because 9, 7, 8, 9, it'll kill both. If we just level up the Kithkin, we could just level up the Kithkin as an option, and then it'll kill that. I think that's our only option we can do right now. So we need to add double white and then level up the Kithkin. So he gets to kill that guy, but none of the other ones. So we're stuck with, we're left with these two. Okay. Went bad, but that's okay. We'll cast Opt, and that is perfect. So one. Wait, we're doing this wrong. We want to leave up red. So 1, blue, white, red. Deputy of Detention. Now we get to exile the Orzhov Advocist and pass. So now we're not in a horrible position once we untap, because we can hold up Ionize and then level up and get an 8/8 first strike flying. He has no attacks. Get a Battlefield Forge, and we'll just pass here. Or do we want to attack with Figure? If we attack with Figure, he can just double block and force us to do that, and then he can get us with something on his turn. So I don't think that's the best option. So we'll just pass, level up on the end of his turn. Or Ionize if he has something to deal with by Figure. Orzhov Advocist is no longer a threat if he gets it back. So we'll let that go. And then 1, okay, so then 2, make double white with the blue, and then 3, and then 4, 5. Is that 6? Shit. Totally thought that was 5. Okay, that's okay though, right? Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay, that's all right. Glad I didn't attack. That gets us there next turn, so we'll just pass. We might end up just shocking one of his soldiers, but I don't think that would be worth it. We can always do it instant speed. We have enough mana. We could kill Trostani right here, and then swing in with both, but then we can't level up. I just think we're just going to keep holding up the level up. So we get to level up on the end of his turn now. What's he playing? Incubation Druid. That's okay. He already has like infinite mana anyways, so. So we're gonna let that go. Then we're gonna tap 1. Okay, so this is gonna make double white. Then we're going to do red, white, red, white. Doesn't really matter, but just making sure it's all red and white. And our Kithkin, that sucks. Target creature's controller sacrifices it, and then we get 4 1/1s. Alright. That's okay. Okay, so Davriel is actually a decent draw. We're going to tap like that and play Davriel. And then tick down on him, see what he has in hand, and it'll be gone. It was a Selkie Hedge Mage. Oh, he could have bounced our guy. Okay, so now we have 4 mana. We're not gonna Dreadboard. Oh, we could Dreadboard the Trostani. And can he adapt? Oh, he can adapt right now. So I think we're gonna Dreadboard the Trostani. No, I tapped out of my black like an idiot. So we have to pass. Gosh, so many misplays. I'm sorry, guys. Not really seeing what this deck can actually do because I'm misplaying it. Although our Davriel is gonna keep him in check. Okay, and that's the end of their turn. So we're gonna pay with these to Dreadboard the Trostani. Still the Trostani, yeah. So remand, that's okay, and then we just get to tick down on him, and it's a Glare of Subdual. That's actually a really cool card. Okay, and then we're just gonna do it again, because you know, why not? We're just gonna Dreadboard the Trostani. Then we get to play the Cascade Bluffs. Now we can leave up Shock and Ionize. Sadly, we could attack with Dreadhorde and we would get to kill the Incubation or just their tokens. So just gonna pass here and keep dealing damage to them with Davriel. We are at somewhat of a situation just because we're at 9 life. We are keeping them hellbent, except I don't want to do it anymore because our Davriel is running low. I think we're just going to keep the Steam Vents in hand and pass the turn. Just to make it seem like we have more spells. Make them a little scared, maybe. This Paradise Druid has not been tapped ever once for this entire game. Just find that weird. Okay, so yeah, we're countering that. Blue, red, and black. Very nice. Down to 12. Alright. And under here is the Advocist. Oh, we're getting flooded. So we're going to play the Steam Vents tapped and pass. And our opponent's down to 10. We have, like, all of our bombs still in our deck. Deafening Clarion would be great, except for the fact that it board wipes us completely, right? It'll board wipe our opponent completely, but as we're not in, like, a dying situation and we would leave them with Advocist, I don't think it's worth it right now. And the reason it wouldn't board wipe us is because Dreadhorde could kill Incubation. Oh, yeah, that's game. Alrighty, on to the next one. Gonna keep that in mind for next round. Alright, so how we want to play this, I think, is the exact same as what we're doing. I don't think adding Dovin's Veto was worth it. Or Crater Maker. We're just going to run it back. And we get to go first this time. and we'll keep this because they're on like a tempo play, so going first with a lot of lands is okay, because we have 2 removal, 1 is mass removal, as long as he doesn't get Trostani, in which case we can dip. Well, we can't deputy it because it's okay. We're gonna be okay. We can play Island and pass. Judge's Familiar, very good card. Now I'm gonna play Mountain and pass. So we're just hoping they run out just a bunch of stuff, and then we just get to slam this Deafening Clarion and take out like everything. Oh, and he has an Incubation. Instant or sorcery spell. I think that's worth it. We get 2 downticks with Davriel. Coiling Oracle gone. That's good. So we can attack it with Judge's Familiar, and then we'll just sacrifice Davriel to get 1 more downtick. Selesnya Sanctuary. That's actually really good, because then Thespian Sage can copy the Selesnya Sanctuary. Now he has a lot of mana. Bounce lands are really good. A lot of the time you should pick them up over the dual lands, just because they're more, like, they give you more mana. Awesome. So now we get to go Mystic Gate, and then add double white for Martial Law, and downtick on them, make them discard another card. Could just be a land, but discarding a card is still good. Now we can, at least for the time being, always detain the Incubation Druid. He's going to discard a Gigantoplasm. Don't know why, though. Gigantoplasm is a very, very, very good card. So now he can leave up Incubation, except for the fact that Adapt is an activated ability. Alright, so we get that, and sadly we are flooding out real harsh. But that's okay, because we have a lot of card draw and good cards left in our deck, so we should still be fine. Hopefully we can draw like Expansion Explosion, mostly for the explosion part, I believe. So we get to once again detain the Incubation Druid. What's he gonna do? Uh-oh. Oh no, this doesn't look good. Okay, so that's not the end of the world. So we get to play... Okay, I gotta do this correctly. So we can go red, filter for white. No. Shoot. So red... I don't know if we can actually do this. Yeah, we can't. So we can't go Deafening Clarion Scab Clan, sadly. Because we can go red, white. Oh no, we can. Blue for white, and then red. And then we go Deafening Clarion, deal 3 damage. And then we can play red, red, black. Freak! They did it. Alright, so we have to pay the 1. So now it doesn't really matter. But we get to play this on red. This gives us a lot of white, and we have that, so I think we're fine on that. What does he have now? Yeah, we've just ran into so many lands. It's not going so good. Yeah, Judge's Familiar is a great card, but kind of surprised he attacked, or did he attack with it? I'm not sure. Oh god. Okay, so he gets to create 2 citizens, return Judge Familiar and Plasm, proliferate, and gain 4. So yeah, we're gonna do that. Fblthp. We're gonna start off with Fblthp. Then we're gonna Angrass Rampage them to sack a creature. And then we're gonna Scab Clan them. Okay. We're not in a bad place. Just because we have a lot of lands out of our deck. And we should hopefully draw some more cards. He gets Judge's Familiar. So yeah, let me recheck this. So planet creates a citizen, returns Judge's Familiar and Gigantoplasm. Okay. So we're gonna always yield. So he's gonna create 3 2/2s, which Deputy of Detention can just kill. So blue for white blue, and then just 1. Deputy of Detention is going to take out all these tokens like an absolute god. And we get to attack out. If he wants to chump the Fblthp, or block the Fblthp, that's fine. We still get Scab Clan. Alright. Alright. Now we just need to actually draw some of our good cards. So I guess to become an incubation druid that he can't adapt. Nice. Yeah, this is why martial law is great. You just, I mean, oh my god. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to move to combat and attack. It's going to block there. Can this return an opponent controls? We're going to play that and pass. Hold up Dream Eater. And then our Dream Eater should present lethal of some kind. Okay. So, it's going to create 2 O2s, and whenever it blocks a creature, they tap. And it has hexproof as long as he controls an illusion. Okay. So, that is fine. Doesn't have reach. So that's going to enter as that. Whew, this is looking rough. Not going to lie. Maybe I should have bounced that. Probably. I think we're still fine. So 1 filter for blue. So we get to Dream Eater. And then we get to surveil before we choose to return. Okay. Oh, that's perfect. Okay. Graveyard. Graveyard. Wait. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, we'll put on top. On top. And we'll just bounce like that. Yes. And it's our turn, and we'll just detain this incubation. And since he has no flyers, we just get to deal 4 to his face. As far as I know, these don't have reach. Opponent takes the 4, we deal 4, and that is game. Alright, GG, and I'll see you guys in the third one. And that is match. Wrong. That's not match. And we'll just run our deck back, same way. So our hand here looks pretty decent. We're probably going to use up this Vivid Marsh early, and we'll play this on red. But we have Fire and Ice and Izzet Charm as kill spells. So we get to play Vivid March and pass, and we can hold up Fblthp for next turn too. Opponent's going to play Incubation. That's going to kind of force us, so we're going to go play this on red and just kill it with fire. And then we pass back. Opponent's going to play Kiora, which is quite a good planeswalker. And here, I think we're going to go Fblthp, and then next turn just play Aurelia. So we'll go Vivid Creek, Fblthp removing a counter, drawing a card. Oh, well, we could Dreadbore. We could Dreadbore, hold up Izzet Charm, but I think there's way better stuff than Kiora, I think. Unless he has a Benthid right now, that would be... Oh, that's actually a good enchantment. This is a little rough, but I think we'll just go Mystic Gate, make white, then make red and black, and play Aurelia. At the beginning, we'll give Fblthp some buffs. And we're going to stay aggro on him. It's probably our best plan, because we have double removal next turn in Deputy of Detention Izzet Charm, or Dreadbore Izzet Charm, or we can even steal their creatures. Oh no, he's going to have the mass creature. Oh wait, Deputy of Detention can take out all the tokens he's about to make. So we can tap down these two, and then we take out all of his tokens. So we'll just start that and that and Deputy. So yep, and we get to take out all 3 of his tokens right now, which is extremely good. Yeah, he's just going to tap the last one. Then we get to play Shipwreck Marsh and hold up Izzet Charm. Is probably better than playing Figure of Destiny. We'll just randomly buff him, I guess. And now we're looking extremely good. And this isn't instant speed, so if he doesn't untap with enough to pay before, then we're good. Oh, that's also a nice combo. Although he didn't float mana, which is interesting. Okay, looks like he doesn't have anything. So we're just going to untap and attack him. Just like this. He didn't use Kiora or do it on his turn, so now we just get to counter it. Nice. Although, I mean, if he had done it on his turn, we would have gotten the tokens. Ionize is good, and we can cast it. So now I think this game is just over. So we're just gonna mentor, or do this to the Deputy, because Mentor's only 1 creature. Put a 1/1 counter on target attacking creature with lower power. So then we get to buff him and mentor Fblthp, so that's gonna be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage. So we have him dead next turn with an Ionize. And that's pretty darn good. So we're going to attack him with all creatures and mentor the Fblthp. And next turn we can put her buff on the Fblthp and then mentor the Deputy of Detention for lethal, even without Ionize or anything. So I think this is now game, unless he has 2 spells that kill us. Or a spell and a counter spell to counter our counter spell. No, that's game. GG's. So yep, we get to blue, make double blue, and then make a red. And Ionize. GG's. Alright, so that's the second match. I'll see you guys in the third, and we're going for the 3-0. Alright, so we're here in game number 3, and sadly, we got a not good hand. If we had one land, we could filter these into each other and do stuff. We are on the play, and it's a little bit sketchy, but our hand's exceptionally good. So this is very hard. But because it's the 3-0, our opponent's deck is good. We know that. But since we have 17 lands, I'm keeping it and going for the greed. We have 2 turns to draw a land, although we would like to draw it on the first turn. Alrighty, so opponent's just going to pass. We don't draw a land, which isn't good. We want to lead on the red one so that we can leave up Fire Ice. Alright, opponent's just going to play a land and pass. And we don't draw a land again, so it's land and pass for us. Alright, so opponent plays a Sin Collector. Very good card. He gets to choose any of our instant and sorceries and get rid of them. What one of our 5 removal spells do you want, opponent? And it's exiled, and we don't get it back even if we kill the Sin Collector. I would guess he would take the Deafening Clarion, as it kills the most amount of creatures. As you know, these are all, or Dreadbore, I guess. He could also, I mean, Dreadbore or Deafening Clarion, depending on his hand, is what I would think. Unless he has like some insane artifact and he wants to take Angrath's Rampage. We'll see. So opponent is actually taking the Fire and Ice. Oh my god. This is the trouble with keeping this hand. If we don't draw a land by next turn, we're just going to concede. But that's my fault for keeping. We drew a land. We're in it. Alright, so red, filter red into double blue. Filter blue into more blue. Play the Nightveil Spectre and pass the turn. We can hopefully hit his lands or ours. Either one works. Now we get to hold up double removal, triple if we draw another land. So now we're in a decent shape. As long as, you know, I mean, he is playing black-white, which is a very good color for removal. So we'll see what he has. And it looks like he is just going to play... What's he playing? Conclave Tribunal. Okay. Alright. That's okay. Sadly, this doesn't hit enchantments. So we get a Shipwreck Marsh. And we're just going to pass the turn. Man, either of those lands 1 or 2 turns earlier would have been amazing. Oh, that's rough. But once again, that's my fault for keeping. We could have ran out Kaya, but running it out into a 2-1 I don't think is the best option. think we'll take the 2, and if he does nothing on his end step, we'll just murder it. So blue into double blue. No, we have to go into double white. No, white blue. And then red, blue into red, and then colorless. And then we cast Intervention on him to deal 3 damage. And now we can run out Kaya and start upticking. I think that's okay. So now we're gonna go, so yes, we have to pay life. So that into double blue and black. And we'll play, did I do that right? No, we need double white. I messed up. We'll tap this for double white, and then black. And then we play Kaya. And we can upticker and exile the Sin Collector and gain 2. The main reason I have her in here isn't for the second ability, because you almost never get that. If you do, it's good because you're getting like removal spell on a planeswalker at -1. But most of the time you're not getting it, and it's just for the value of gaining life and exiling stuff. Kind of like a worse Gyre Sage. Okay. So our lands make it so hard. But we can leave up these 2 and to leave up Izzet Charm. There's so much filtering we have to do because all of our stuff is 2 colors. I think we're just gonna exile nothing. Just to uptick her. And then we're just gonna pass the turn. Because we have 3 instants that we can leave up. And then we're just gonna Izzet Charm something. Because we can filter certain ways to like leave up Boros Charm after we Izzet Charm, I believe. If he's just gonna attack our Kaya for 1, that doesn't really matter. We don't care about ultimating her, especially when he has 1 card in exile. Okay, so we're gonna tap 1 and Shipwreck Marsh to tap this, and then Izzet Charm to draw 2, then discard 2. Okay, opt. So we're gonna discard. Probably. I don't think we're on like some weird burn plan. Angrass Rampage and Boros Charm. I think that was correct. So now we get to play land. Tap 1, opt. Put on top and draw it. We could totally just steal the Gyre Sage. But I don't think we're gonna. We're just gonna uptick. We have no creatures, so we're just gonna say okay. And then we're just gonna pass the turn again. We could have stolen his Gyre Sage, but I don't think it's really worth it. Especially when I considered this card to be somewhat valuable. Especially when we can just leave up Ionize. I think it might have been good to keep the Boros Charm, but it doesn't seem like he's running like removal. Not that we care about it that much now. You may destroy target artifact or enchantment, so he's just running out of 4/4. So we could just, it makes that bigger, so I think we're just gonna, so we're gonna Ionize it. So we're gonna cycle into double blue. Oh, wait, I did that wrong. So we're gonna cycle into double red blue, and then cycle the blue into more blue, and then Ionize it. And that'll deal 2 damage to them too, and give us a card to exile. Okay, wow, they concede. That's awesome. Looks like they're really scared of Kaya for some reason. So now we get to consider what we want to bring in against them. Their deck looks really weird, so I think we're just going to run it back. I didn't see anything particularly bad, mostly because I didn't even really get what their deck was doing. This hand, it seems beautiful, just because, you know, we have one Vivid, and if we draw, nice, that's a white source, so we can cast Kaya on 3 after firing, hopefully, a Dork on 2. Oh no, is this... Okay, that's not Sin Collector, so that's okay. Kaya can actually exile that, which is nice. So, or we could go Vivid Mars. I don't think we need to, though. I think we're just going to run out that mountain so that we don't have to remove a counter to fire. We could also just ice something, but I don't think that's super worth, unless they just don't play anything, and then we might. Because now we just get to play this on blue, or this on white, remove a counter, slam, and exile his thingy-majiggy. Okay, so that's okay. So with counter on, or with that on stack, we're gonna cast fire on his Sin Collector. Oh. So we can do 1 and 1. This exiles, correct? Exile a non-land permanent with mana value 1 or less, and this can't take. This can only take instant and sorceries. Just making sure, yes, this is the right way. So now he gets to take Boros Charm, which doesn't really matter to us that much anyways. Sacred Foundry. So we're just going to play the Pathway on white, remove a counter and add black, and now we get to play Kaya. And we get to exile this so it doesn't get its death trigger. And now I think we're in a decent position with our Deputy of Detention. If they have Conclave Tribunal, we can just deputy it. Although I don't know if we would actually even want to. So Gyre Sage once again. Battle of Gyre Sage and Kaya. That's pretty good. We're just going to run out an island here so that we can cast it if need be. And we'll pass. Because, yeah, keeping Kaya alive now is actually a somewhat decent plan on just winning, I think. Seemed very scared of it last game. We'll just let him pass. Play Vivid Marsh. Uptick on nothing. And pass the turn. It might be smart to exile our own stuff, as we have no way of getting stuff back from the graveyard, as far as I remember. So I think next turn, if he doesn't do anything, we'll actually just kill our own stuff. So we have to let this resolve, and then we kill the Gyre Sage. Alright, so yeah, we'll kill the Gyre Sage with an intervention. Then we get to detention, or deputy his big ol' 4/4. Literally, it's just been a 5-mana 4/4 for the last 2 games, which I find kind of funny, because we have, as far as I know, like 0 artifacts and enchantments in our deck. Okay, so we can do this first. Is it Charm? We're going to put that on top and draw it. We're going to uptick and exile his Gyre Sage and gain 2. Then we're going to play Cascade Bluffs. And then we're going to Deputy of Detention. And we get to leave up our Is It Charm. Nice and tidy like. So her ultimate just does equal to the number of cards they own in exile. So right now her ultimate would be a 4. If this is a non-creature, we... Oh, that's a creature. That's a real good creature too. Shit. So she's a 3/3 and she makes a 3/3. And he's going to get the 4/4 back. But we get to exile the 3/3. Non-land permanent. Yeah, so we get to exile his wolf. And then we get to also cycle this Is It Charm. So add blue-red. Draw 2, discard 2. So we're going to discard that and Scab Clan and keep the Fblthp. Deafening Clarion. Oh, baby. Alright. So that means we don't need to do that. We can just go mount that and that. No. And black. And Deafening Clarion. 3 damage to each creature. It's going to kill those 2. And then we get to run out Fblthp to chump that. And we get to exile Toolsmear. And then we get to run out Fblthp. We're going to leave that in hand. Alright. We're in a decent position. Okay, I didn't, I'll be completely honest, I didn't look at his lands. Both at Kaya. Alright. So we're just gonna chump there. Oh, another land. That's harsh. So we're just gonna exile Fblthp. Gain 2 more life. And we're just gonna play a land and pass. Yeah, so this is getting harsh now. We need some more spells that actually do stuff. He can fire up his Wildwood, attack us for 4 and Kaya for 3. Unless he's really, really scared of Kaya doing something. Oh no, he's frightened of Kaya, which I find funny because she's not great. Alright. Exile target creature card from a graveyard, then populate, which is make like if he has a token, he gets to make another. That's not bad. Just play Aurelia. Now I have a 2/5 flying. Beginning of combat, only on my turn, sadly. But I mean, she is going to be a 4/5. Yikes. This is a 3/4. So it kills nothing. He gets to attack through it easily. Oh no. So now we are no longer in a good position. Now we very much need something good, like a Dream Eater. Because a Dream Eater could bounce the Tribunal and get Aurelia back for 1. Oh, no, we're dead. Oh, no, I'll just play a land and pass, and if we draw Expansion Explosion specifically next turn, we have a chance. 19 cards in our deck. That's pretty much exactly the card we need to draw to keep in this, because then we can do it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which is why I played the land there, so that we could do it for 1 more 4, 5. So we take 10, and then next turn we can like kill the 4/4. No, we're dead. Yeah, we're dead. Dreadborn top. Alright, so last match. I'm starting to think I like Dovin's Veto better than Boros Charm. So I'm going to run it back like that. The reason I like it better is because I've seen Conclave Tribunal, and I haven't seen anything I'd like to Boros Charm, like protection from. Like I haven't seen any kill spells or anything. So I'm just, yeah, so I figured Dovin's Veto can take out that Conclave Tribunal if need be. which is going to be better than if I do it the other way. Rise of the Hobgoblins is also interesting as just another like late game thing, or Cranko. But yeah, it's okay. We are going first, and we'll keep. We get to turn 2 Fblthp or Fire and Ice, but probably Fblthp, and then their turn Fire and Ice, whatever their 2-drop is. I love Fblthp. Truly inspirational. Darn. Okay, so we are going to have to remove a counter to add blue. That's okay, because we get to Fblthp. And we draw Dovin's Veto. Interesting. So next turn, sadly, we can't Night Veil because of this land, but we can play a land and then hold up both Ionize, Fire and Ice, and Dovin's Veto. Or we can just go for it, because why not? Dreadhorde Butcher. Does he have a kill spell? If not, that's pretty bad for him. So our Dreadhorde Butcher is definitely a card that can close out games all on its own. And now we get to start holding up counter spells, Fire and Ice. So now we're looking great. I'm not going to actually play this Night Veil just because I think Dreadhorde's going to get there all on his own. Alright, we'll just counter that. That for blue, and then make a red, and Ionize. GG's! Alright, we take it out for the 3-0. That was my first draft of the Ravnica. It seems really cool. A lot of cool synergies. My recommendation is definitely go multicolored hard. There is so many lands. We saw it has all the bounce lands, all the shock lands, all the slow lands, and the check lands. So go multicolor. You should do good. Yeah, our deck was pretty good that round. And that's a 3-0. I'll see you guys in the next one. Good luck in your drafts.